Hello, hello. Can you hear me, besties? Winners round one. Okay, what do we want from winners round one? Also, welcome to the OJJ Qualifier, second and final qualifier for Magical Mountain, the Maiden Spell Invitational / Summit clone. So yeah, what do we want for our first match? We gotta progress fast because time zones and all that. All of round two will be streamed, by the way. Don't mind the weird labels. The labels are still being messed with. Losers quarterfinals, losers semifinals. Okay. No commands. Okay, I'll just have Hobo versus Omer. Hobo, VS. Yeah, winners round two all on stream because it's the qualifier. Losers round one play as you're ready. Yeah, thanks, Cake. Okay. Oh, I didn't hit start bracket? Thanks, Caro. Took me a while. Alright, we're gonna get Hobo versus Omer soon. Hobo, a familiar face recently, especially. Omer, possibly a contender for greatest MnS TO. Spellbird series, iconic. And it's kind of poetic that Omer's going against a red player when the Spellbird era was dominated by red. Yeah. Feel free to start round one. Winners round one, all off stream, start. And there's Omer. Alright. And ready whenever. So let's get the ball rolling. Stars turned reverse, okay. And now we enter the game. Classic red versus Frost. Hobo versus Omer. And Hobo scores the first hit. Omer, it's really hard to gauge how good Omer is because we have not seen Omer compete in a very, very long time. Hobo, though, definitely one of the more consistent players out there. Unfortunately, didn't make it. Fell a little short last qualifier, but we'll see if they can push past that this time. Oh, and Omer lands a critical stun right there. That felt like the very edge of the hitbox. And unfortunately, Omer running into a wide. Just the nature of the thing, but damn, Omer doesn't get that stun, and feels like Hobo's just gonna slowly take this one. But you know, everything could still change. It all depends. Now Omer, though, getting the first hit with a wide, catching Hobo holding out. It's definitely a good chance for Omer in this first game still. Omer trying to play more calm and composed, trying to pick the times to go in, and gets that. Just catching Hobo's movement with wide so much, and that could be critical, but Omer suddenly brought to 1 health as well. Got the stun and secures the card. Could have been dangerous. Could have been Hobo's game. And I'm going to go silent for a bit. Sorry. Give me a sec. I forgot something. Alright, Omer brought to 1 heart. And Hobo takes the first game. Now we're just heading back in. Same characters. You have to think, what will Omer do this game? Secured 1 card that last game, in a pretty dominant fashion until it started to slip away at the end. But the other 2 cards were kind of blowouts. So yeah, that kind of movement is getting caught by Hobo's retreating basics. And as we look back at the results, we see that Speed has cleanly 2-0'd Triple, and QP has 2-0'd River Sand. Really good advantage from Hobo as well to get out of that sticky situation. And it's not looking too good for Omer here. Hobo just controlling the pace of the game, staying at the range where macroing is just possible. Doesn't need to stress out about dodging the focus basics too much. Just macroing everything, not taking any risks, and keeping up the pressure on Omer. And as Omer tries to find openings, tries to roll in, they're just caught out. But Hobo caught a little sleeping with that wide. But Hobo takes it. Clean 2-0 for Hobo. Alright, we're gonna start winners round 2 now. We're gonna get Mu versus QP. No, sorry, versus YLT. Yep, that's how it goes. And the bracket's almost complete for winners round 1. We see Ray beat Nuke, QP beat River Sand, Maven beat Rifle, Hobo beat Omergosh, etc. All of them expected seed results, but I think the biggest mix is Max versus Glitch. That one could go either way. And YLT versus Mu. They switch sides. Uh-oh. There we go. Ready. Alright, YLT versus Mu. Mu, one of the scariest players in the entire game, to be honest. Like, barely enters, but when you see him in bracket, you do not want to face him. Has a ton of notable wins, including over Frog. So, yeah, definitely someone you do not want to face, especially for a qualifier spot. So YLT will have to pull out all the stops here. YLT, though, no slouch either. Well, another player who's more than ready and more than capable of taking games off top players. So far, YLT down to hard, but approaching endgame. And Arcanist really shines there with the Giant Moon, with the controlling of space, forcing the opponent to move in a very specific area. And YLT with the dodges, but Mu's pressure just doesn't stop. Takes one back, but it's one heart. A defensive clock. Trying to make space and catches Mu in the corner. Mu has vanished now, though, and YLT does not have clock, so it'll be definitely an uphill battle for both of them. Especially, YLT ducking back inside the basic, dodging all of that. But Mu can just keep going. But YLT takes the first card. Alright. Oh no. YLT with a commanding lead in the second card here. And especially as the walls are closing in, it's going to be so hard for red. And YLT seems to have gone into a bit of a groove here. Mu looking a tiny bit lost. Doing the red game plan, playing safe, but playing safe only leads to the walls closing in further. And YLT's not making many mistakes. Right there, though, isn't able to dodge all of it and gets caught holding forward on the retreating basic from Mu. And suddenly it's even. Loyalty at 1 heart, but gets a critical clock on Moo. Moo vanishes though. We be able to stall it out. Dodges everything and completely oh, but now it's suddenly 1-1 once again. But Moo secures it with the focus knife, and now it's down to the wire for this first game. In a best of 3, the first game is just so important because it's match point once that first game happens. And that confuse definitely going to put a dent in Moo's offense right now. As YLT stalls it out. Happy to defensively clock. Not hitting it really doesn't matter as long as the walls are closing in more and more. But Moo not going to go down too easily. He gets 2 hits and YLT trying to hit debuffs, but Moo ducking out of the way. Has no vanish for another 8 seconds, but probably won't need it given how they're punishing YLT stepping in. Just as soon as YLT moves in, Moo moves back with a basic, and at that time it didn't work, but we've seen Moo get out of these spots without losing too much before. But YLT manages to get 2 hearts off that clock into debuffs, so and suddenly it's another 1-1 situation. Last hit. Doesn't land the paralyze. Oh, that could be critical right here. But YLT manages to secure it. Massive comeback. We see that Max has 2-0'd glitch, so all of Winners Round 1 has gone according to seed projection. YLT though, down once again in this first game. Playing from behind is cool and all, but making it a habit just doesn't bode too well, unless it's quite possible that YLT could take this game back, just stalling it out until walls close a bit and then getting a clutch clock. That could do it there. It all depends. Finds the clock. Drops the moon. Forces the vanish. And we'll see how much more YLT can get out of this. Gets another hit. And it's yet another 1 heart situation. And YLT is going to have to dodge a ton. Moo though, trying to find something. Needs this last hit. Hasn't gotten it for a while. But getting it anytime secures this card. Doesn't matter when, and gets a perfectly charged basic. Covers the space perfectly. And now it all depends on this card. Moo really needs this card. Just needs to stay in the set. YLT though, not going to give it up so easily. Has a commanding lead and could take it in this game. Just needs to get a little bit. Needs to. Just has such a massive lead. 2 hearts as Arcanist and the walls closing. And YLT's dodging so well too, not giving up any hearts, not giving up the walls closing. Lands a paralyze. And I think this could be it for this card. Dodges so well the focus knives and the basic layered, but unable to catch, forcing out the vanish too. The walls push Moo, but still unable to get out of the moon. Oh, but YLT stepping on the minified wide. Needs to find this heart and does so, and YLT Just needs one more card to take this set and qualify. Gonna come down to the wire here. But every second that goes without a hit is every second in YLT's favor. The more time that goes by, I guess just like a mismatch of play styles. Because Mu, the defensive player on red, definitely not too happy about going against an Arc who really wants that slow, stally gameplay to head to min walls and get the advantage. Forcing out the vanish too. And such good dodges from both players. YLT finally getting hit. And the vanish and clock coming back up just about now. But Mu managing to find 2 hits could clutch out this endgame. But we've seen it go the other way before. And we definitely have seen it go the other way before, because YLT could claw this back. But definitely don't want to curse it just yet, because Mu's definitely still in this. And so we wait. Now, the walls are so closed in that you have to think YLT's extremely favored, especially with the Minify. Just needs one more hit now. Any slip up from Mu. And there it is. YLT takes it. Qualifies for Magical Mountain. Clean 2-0. Now, there are 4 spots available through the winners side, but only 2 available down in the losers bracket, so it's going to be a real fight down there. Now we're getting Maven and Hobo. Maven, the iconic pink lich, purple lich, oops. The iconic purple lich. Versus Hobo. We've seen them on stream just before. We know it. Definitely a lopsided matchup historically, but could go either way on the day. I keep saying ready when I'm not ready. It's fine though. Alright, Maven versus Hobo. We'll see what the round start is from Maven. Charges a flower wide into Butterfly, getting the offense started and almost completely walling off the center. Doesn't need 2 flowers to do it. And Hobo trying to snipe with the charge basic, but Lich offense has already gotten going, and Maven getting a massive charge. And it looks like Maven just in such a big lead. Really good Butterfly positioning as well. Top and bottom walls. But Maven getting caught up in Hobo's basics and Kunai just a tiny bit. Walks up into a wide as well. Uh-oh. But able to charge another massive flower. Hobo, though, being able to last so long. Maven, though, the classic Maven. Just walking up and basicking. And Maven looked like there were a few missteps, but... Oh, wait. Just as I say that... Oh, no. Maven had flower, too. Just got caught up in the knives. Alright, I fixed the thing, Karo. Maven down but not out, because as long as the setup is there, Lich can overcome hard deficits. But as we saw before, 2 unlucky interactions and it could be over for Maven. Hobo always putting out pressure, never truly out of it. But this game is looking pretty one-sided in favor of Hobo. This particular card, I mean. Maven chasing, looking for something, but Hobo just dodging it all. And Hobo takes the first game. Alright, Maven looking for something. Going on the offense this time. More than usual. Even though it's Maven. You would say that going on offense is the mode. Forcing out a Vanish, and Hobo heads to basically unclaimed territory as Maven. Oh, really needed that hit. If that didn't come in, Maven was... And we're seeing it here. Maven playing Lich. Coming out in full force. And those 2 butterflies are so good, but Maven once again getting hit with Flower Up. Wants to use it to wall off. And Maven once again heading on the offensive, but another retreating basic. Oh no. Perhaps too many mistakes. Could be fatal for Maven. Had such a commanding lead, but bonked a bunch, and Hobo still putting up the pressure despite being chased out by so many butterfly shots, and the red wide once again. Oh no. Maven getting caught while charging. It's not looking too good. Hobo is playing so consistent. Even when it looks hopeless inside all of the Lich pressure, just staying alive and just constantly firing, and this could be a 2-0. And Hobo could do it, but oh no, okay. And Hobo qualifies. Wow. Okay. Damn. What an upset. And the thing is, Maven looked so dominant too, until Hobo just kept living. And living and living, and props to Hobo for just keeping the composure while at deficits against Lich and clutching it out. You gotta believe in the Maven losers run, definitely. Now we're gonna have Ray versus Cupid. Oops, forgot to transition. Cupid joined and left. What the heck? What? QP. Yo, hi QP. Also, quick question, if you're listening, QP, do you prefer QP or QP? Both? What the heck? Oh, what a okay. I'm popping off at that transition. But what another qualifier match. Loser of this isn't out of it. Has a chance in the loser's bracket, but there's some demons in the loser's bracket, especially with Maven falling down there. So this is definitely the best chance. But we'll see how QP and Ray do against each other. Ray, not often seen entering, but one of the scariest opponents to face in bracket, along with Moo in the doesn't enter too much section. Though Japanese representative YLT has already qualified. Let's see if Ray can do as well. But QP missing out in the first qualifier. We'll have to see if QP can clutch it out and make it happen in this one. But so far, Ray just playing so well defensively. Finally, as I say that, gets caught by tap basics from the clone, but just really just playing too well defensively. Has Vanish on deck too. Just walks past after the hit. Oh, walks up into tap basic, and tap basic is really funny in that it is a startup. It's unassuming. It's not really that scary until it is. But Ray, down to 1 heart, still manages to take the card, and we'll see what happens. Alright. QP dancing around, trying to avoid the wide, but we know that a few wide bonks as Storm are an inevitability against Red Hood. The combination of the binds putting you in a bind and, well, Storm's fast movement speed, it's hard to control even for someone as good as QP. There inevitably will be some missteps, but an amazing use of the flash step to just completely dodge that basic, and suddenly the walls are closing in, and QP's charge style could be approaching in full force now. Setting up, oh, but gets caught by the edge of the focus kunai. And so it's back to even, getting caught by the wide this time. Ray trying to play defensively, just holding back a lot. And QP's trying to set up as well. Has to dodge really, really carefully here. Vanish available for Ray. Gets out of the situation, but stands still a little too much, and QP just pounces with the charge basic melee. And QP trying to clutch out this one. Really wants this card. Doesn't want Ray to get a 1-0 lead this early. And manages to do so. Really, really nice melee drive by tap basic. QP off to a hot start, managing to make it even and then some. And we see Maven has beaten Riversand to losers bracket yet again, 1 game away from qualifying. Ray though on the ropes here, QP managing to get so much. And Ray is gonna have to pull out all the stops to stop this game from going in QP's favor, but walks up to the melee range and QP is the one who takes the first game. Now, there have been 2 upsets so far in this Winners Round 2 qualifier round. Will there be 3? QP, though, moving a little too fast, getting caught by the classic wide. The magnetic red wide, but Ray getting caught along the bottom wall by a tap basic. Now QP going to charge style once again, just trying to safely flash steps through the unfocused knives. Slowly just trying to build up a lead. And now the question is, what will Ray has the advantage to get out of it? Doesn't get meleeed right out of it. Okay. QP going for the melee. Got it successfully many times in the past, but not this time. Ray making sure not to let that happen. But these tap bases are coming in full force, and Ray caught, holding on to basic. QP finding the window, but getting caught along the bottom wall by the unfocused knives. And Ray takes the card. Both players just playing back, playing slow. QP running into a wide. Really good on Ray, by the way, to refresh those wides to try and throw QP off. Definitely slows down the Storm movement. And vanishes out of a bit of a sticky situation. Managed to get past the tap basics, but those tap basics are just so menacing. They're coming out of nowhere, plugging up the gaps. And Ray, no button, 4 seconds away from vanish at that point. Has vanished now, but forced to burn it. QP setting up so well. But Ray still holding on to a bit of a lead. Has to make sure QP can't set up here. Has to remember to... Well, not remember, but has to get the knives at the right timing to interrupt the walls. The wall's coming in. There's a slight window. Oh, okay. Ray has to vanish, but QP once again starting the walls up. Oh, and Ray barely makes it out. That could be critical right here. Could be a massive swing if Ray takes this. And now, QP just trying to find a bit of poke. Dancing around the outside, but oh. Walks right into a wide, and we're going to a game 3. Oh, really quick melee attempt from QP. Ray vanishes out, but that vanish being burned means that QP's charge basic wall gets that much scarier. And right there, we see it happening. Not sure if Ray had vanished, but has to burn it here, surely. Getting caught up in QP setup. That's really the difference maker. If QP can't get the setups and the melees, and QP's playing so well this card. And now QP backing up, looking for those tap basic pokes. A bit of Zale. And gets caught while backing up between a wide and knife. Getting caught by the knife. Nowhere to back up to. Almost catches with a tap basic at close range. The drive-by we saw before. Trying to do it again. Trying to throw Ray off. Trying to find a window to charge basic. Starting to charge basic now, but will this be the checkmate? Ray forced to vanish. And QP trying to find any advantage possible here. Unable to clone melee Ray, but manages to catch along the top wall while Vanish was still down. Ray enters back, but all QP needs is one hit. Just one mix-up. 150-50. And has 2 hearts to work with. And match point for QP right here. QP could continue the train of upsets. But Ray playing back. Really doesn't want to get caught by a charge wall here. And the clone's not really positioned to force that charge wall. Ray vanishing out though. That resource being burned could be critical. Manages to land the hit. And QP just forcing Vanish after Vanish. Ray really not having Vanish in the critical moments, but Ray managing to get the hits in the critical moments in this card. And avoids the melee, doesn't get caught up while in the basic charge like last time. And QP not going for a melee, they're just tap basicing and Ray makes it out. And Ray just setting up a last card situation here. Last card. This is it. QP taking an early lead with tap basics, throwing Ray off, but Ray. Really good flash step from QP. Flash step in place just to get past the unfocused knives. QP though is trying to create the walls again, and it really seems like QP's unfazed by the focused knives. Managing to micro them very, very consistently, but when the unfocused knives are thrown in, they can catch along with the basics. Ray has to get out. Oh, QP doesn't go for the melee there. That could have been critical. But QP sitting with a comfortable 4-2 lead. And just needs one more hit to complete the upset. To qualify as well. Oh! Incomplete. Wow, okay. QP soul reads Ray for that last heart. Wow. That was actually a soul read. Like faked going ahead to make Ray move left and then moving right in charge. That was so good. That was ridiculous. Now we're heading to Centispeed versus Max. 2 Sun players. One extremely historically successful and the other a new TO who's honestly very, very cracked. There have been 3 upsets in the qualifiers, so will there be a 4th? It's all up to Max. And with Omer's entry, this is looking a little bit like Spellberta, isn't it? There's so many red players, and we're about to see a Sun Mirror too. It's like there's been a red player in like almost every game. You're welcome. You gotta say that after there's a red mirror on stream. Thankfully there haven't been yet. And thankfully the bracket is somehow set up so that the reds don't meet. which is kind of crazy. I did not do that on purpose, but glad it happened. Oh, and a quick hit from Speed, winning the opening exchange. And Max forced, well, both players burning the spell early. Max is going to have to make his way out of that wall of wides and the diamonds. Oh, unable to get past, and suddenly Speed is at a massive lead already. Oh, Max thankfully not getting caught by the diamonds that time. Trying to find a setup, but Speed just on point. The right timing, it feels like, at all times. It feels like Max is just playing catch up. As soon as Max backs up, Speed's diamonds are there. But Speed, very, very clean. And this time Max on the offensive, pressing forward and catches Speed inside of a pancake. And another hit, but gets drifted on by a wide. This time spamming diamonds. We'll see who's successful. Max has to dispel though, and that cooldown could be critical. Speed dispelling. That's a massive wall of wide. So much pressure, but Max walks through all of it. Really good recognition on the timing there, but Max getting caught, and suddenly it's back to a 2-2 even game. Max with the lead. Just needs one more hit. Forcing out a dispel from Speed. Speed forcing dispel right back. And with the diamonds coming out, it's not looking too good for Max, getting caught up, backing up a little too much. And now Max really needs this game, needs the momentum. Does not want to go down right here, but the diamonds are coming in. And the diamonds take the first game for Speed. Alright. Max pushed back to the corner, has to dispel past. Walks past the diamonds though. Dispel coming out on Speed's side to answer. And Max second guessing, hesitating as the wides approach. Manages to get a hit back though, so maybe all is forgiven. But Speed's wall of wides and layered with diamonds just seems so much scarier. Max is going to have to pull out something. Going to have to make some clutch diamond dodges or something to make the difference. Because right now, Speed's gameplay is just a little bit above. And yeah, just the timings on when Speed uses diamonds just feel correct. Just feel right. And the micro along the bottom wall of Max's diamonds as well. But Max kind of forming a tiny bit of a lead. We've seen this before. Oh, a lot of lag. Uh-oh. A bunch of patterns canceled. Bit of a rollback weirdness, but it should be fine now. Max getting caught up as they're backing up. We've seen this story before. It doesn't end well for Max. Will he be able to clutch it? Manages to do so. And speed. Once again, just walking back, not falling for what Max is trying to go for. Max going for basic wides, diamonding now, walking right through, but the diamonds come back from speed, and there's so much carrier for Max. And as speed puts up more diamonds, gives up a tiny bit of pressure, but it doesn't really matter, just using them to move across. Force Max in, and suddenly speed just dominating. We have two Sun mains who qualified in the first qualifier in the chat with the insights. A lot of character variety. Yeah, the only character that's seriously underplayed is Depth, and that's not because Depth is bad, it's because no one wants to play Depth. J-Feather plays Depth nowadays though. But Max keeping it even here, still has a chance. Worm is also underplayed nowadays, but that's because the Worm players just play less. Mega switched to red for bracket a little. Yeah, all the characters see a lot of play, to be honest. But Max, last hit of losers bracket, last hit of winners bracket, needs to make it happen. But oh, the diamonds, and Max drops. We'll have to clutch it out in the losers bracket to qualify. And now we're gonna get Moo versus Maven. Head down to the losers bracket for the next qualifier matches. Yeah, you versus Carol off stream. This will truly be the day I keep it under 3 hours. Surely. Oh, right. Yeah, Shadow Pelt. Yeah, that's a big hit to Worm usage. No more Shadow Pelt. Yeah, you were keeping the Worm usage up, like solo carrying consistently. Windcraft 2 is being announced in 4 minutes. Which is kind of rough scheduling wise, but I guess I'll react to that a little bit. But losers top 8, Magical Mountain qualifier. We're really just rolling through all 6 qualifier matches, huh? Speeding through them. Speeding, as in speed. Sent it. Okay, I'll stop. Alright, Maven versus Moo for one of the last 2 spots. Maven getting a flower up the classic. We know that Moo plays pretty defensively, so we'll see how that meshes with Maven. Maven fresh off an unfortunate loss to Hobo. Big clutch from Hobo. And oh, the classic Maven hiding in the dead zone of the red basic. And Maven full setup, just so many good butterflies as well. Caught by the basic though, and it could go downhill real fast, especially against a player like Moo. Managed to get a massive flower, good butterfly positioning as well, so that's a ton of pressure, but Moo, one of the best dodgers in the game, has to vanish. Trap there, but Maven has to use flower. Really good spot to have to use flower too. Plugs up the gap. But now that big flower is gone, so there's a little more room to move for Moo. But still, Maven with a 3-1 lead with setup. Going for a basic. Playing aggressive. Oh, and Moo manages to live to fight another day, but the pressure doesn't stop. There's still another layer. And Maven systematically takes the first card. Maven with the aggression early on, trying to get a raw basic. Unable to do so, but lives the early game. Big flower, unfortunately overlapping, but still, that's still reinforcement. Oh, and Maven chasing, forcing out the vanish with Lich Basic alone. Oh, but backs up at the wrong spot and gets caught. But Moo takes the wrong direction, wrong angle, and just steps in the flower. And Maven just cleaning up, playing with a vengeance. We'll see if Moo can adapt in the second game. Well, now that I said that, I might have cursed it, because we've seen Maven lose these to Hobo just before. But it looks pretty cleaned up here. And there it is. Ooh, switch to Worm? Could be the legendary Moo Worm right here. The worm that terrorized so many. And maxing a 2-0 over Carol in the losers bracket sets up a showdown versus Ray for a qualifier spot. We'll see what happens there. Could be something else, but I'm predicting Worm because it's most likely Worm. Right? Unless? It's Lich! Yo, the Moo Lich! Wait, Maven loves this matchup though, right? Wait, isn't there a problem that Maven... Doesn't Maven like this? I feel like against most players this would be fine, but against Maven... I'm gonna question it a little bit. Yeah, Maven just off to such a good start. Moo, though, recognizing unable to delete that butterfly, and that could be fatal because that butterfly behind Moo is just so good. Such a great spot. Maven, though, tries to get into a good spot for a delete. Bonks, but it doesn't matter. Such a good delete, and Moo, clearly unfamiliar, just not pressing the butterfly button enough. Maven could get another clutch delete here, just removing all of Moo's offense because there's not enough butterflies. And Maven could just speedrun this here. Just needs one more hit. Moo's fundamentals are great, but this is a very... this matchup is probably the biggest matchup check. Like, matchup knowledge check in the game. If you don't know how to play this, it's like so over. And Maven just efficiently destroying Moo's offense. This time Moo's getting more... Oh, gets hit while flowering. And it's looking like lights out. It's looking like a bit of night for Moo. Because Maven just needs one more hit to qualify to knock Moo out. And this could be it. Maven knows he's on the brink. Just slowly basicking. Just needs one more hit. Doesn't need to risk anything. Just systematically creating space. And Moo, I don't know what you do as Moo here. It's just such an overwhelming disadvantage. And Maven qualifies. Gets the win. Alright, I'm gonna take like a minuscule break because I'm watching the Wingcraft 2 trailer, which happens to be exactly right now. Okay, they're rebuilding a bunch of stuff. New quests, okay. Nice. Hopefully quests that don't suck. Yo, you turn into a cow. New dungeon? Oh, we already know. It's Galleon's Graveyard rework. Oh, they're finally revealing the ability tree system. Okay, there it is. Subclasses and ability tree. I knew it. Can't believe they're doing it this soon though. New damage? Yeah, I can't believe they're doing it this soon. Thought it would be like later. And they're calling it Spellbound, okay. Alright, let's call the next matches then. Cool trailer. Bray and Max. All right. Ray versus Max for the last qualifier spot. This is it. The one last spot. The single last spot right here. Ooh, bit off timing, but whatever. We'll see how these playstyles mesh, because Max definitely very familiar with this particular matchup. And Ray as well. The Red Sun is definitely up there. Probably top 3 most popular matchups. Most common matchups. So many people playing these two characters. But so many small variations in how they play. And Max is chasing, trying to find an opening, but moving slightly down into the knives from the side and unable to find a hit so far. Ray just playing so defensive so well, and Max can't find any foothold right now. Yeah, Ray just playing back, moving around so much, making it so tricky with the knives. And even when the vanish is forced out, the wide is there. And Max trying to find a footing. Ray no vanish, but Max walks onto a wide, and what could be Max's hit just turns completely around. All right. And Max with the sudden lead right here. Could be the start of something. Really good diamond setup, but Ray just dodging through all of it, but finally Max gets it. And Max just clawing it back, trying to find a bit of... but Ray equalizes, and it's not looking too good for Max. Dispel on deck, but vanish too. And Ray takes the first game. All right. And Ray with a quick 2 hits. This could spell doom for Max right now. Max just playing from a deficit already and has to get 2 hits on Ray, who manages vanish so well. Just it's like seeing a fully evolved version of Sonya's gameplay, if you remember that from the beginner tournament. He's playing so well defensively, just backing up, not getting hit, and always having vanish up when it's needed. And Ray's just cleaning up now. Max needs to find something, needs to create a difference maker. And Ray manages to keep composure, hold to the corner, and dodge the diamonds all the way. And Ray once again with the lead. Max has to find something. But Ray once again has vanish up when it's needed, managing it so well. Getting a hit, just... and it's all but over now. Ray just needs one more hit. Max trying to find a foothold in the offense, but Ray once again has vanish. The management just too good. There it is. Ray takes it. Ray qualifies. And Ray, the last qualifier. There's still 4 invite slots. And maybe we'll get Max on mic soon. Did anyone play Frost? Omer played Frost. Unfortunately lost against Topo with it. But the bracket moves on. And we have Speed versus QP. For winner semifinals, the first game.
Hello, Saya.
Yo, it's Max.
Let me get the game back up.
All right. Bit of an unfortunate matchup as well.
I wanted QP.
Yeah, QP just popped off against Ray. And
QP's good, but
yeah.
I'm much better against Storm than Hood.
And Ray's style just felt like it just absorbed pressure. Just like sucked it all up.
Yeah. I wasn't really sure what to do.
Now QP is playing against Sun here. Speed, in fact.
Well, I guess if QP beats Speed, then I can rest easy knowing I probably wouldn't have won anyway.
And QP is going so hard right now. 3-1 lead over Speed.
It's risky running into the... Well, never mind. I won't commentate. I'm behind. Have them go to character select after this game.
All right. But Speed, I don't know. It feels like number 1 seed Speed might come out, but QP's just playing so well right now. Yeah, and QP went for a melee inside Sun basic. If Speed didn't get hit by that, QP would have gotten hit. Oh. Okay, QP's just styling. It's been a hot minute since we had a true top player Storm contender, but maybe QP is it.
Alright. I'm on spectator now. Let's see if Speed can make the adaptation.
Yeah, it's a best of 3, so it'll have to be quick. Omer said, I didn't even realize Frostwide got nerfed. That explains everything. Otherwise, old Frostwide was crazy. It went so far. I don't know how we thought that was okay.
Wasn't it faster too? Like you could spam it more?
It was wild. Now it's just like a mix-up. It's a movement catch tool. But before, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, so Speed in the optimal position right now. He's between QP and the clone. That makes it much harder for Storm to wall. This is a position I try to establish against a walling Storm as much as I can.
But the interesting thing is QP hasn't been walling that much today compared to usual. Because usually, like, think of QP as, like, the goes to walling by default Storm. But has been mixing it up quite a lot today.
Oh, yeah, doesn't QP normally play Yellow Storm too?
Yeah.
Alright, reestablishes the position between the clone. Every time the clone's off cooldown, you have to try and think of how are you going to reestablish that position.
Oh, no flash up for QP, and Speed just cleans up that card.
Yeah, so now that Flash Step is down, Speed should probably be looking to see if he can get a cheeky hit with some diamonds, maybe. That's always something you can look for.
Oh, and QP just slowly trying to weave around the wides, like with Storm's movement speed. That's a bit scary. And QP managed to get melee hit after melee hit.
Alright, finally back between the clone. It had been a while.
QP's melee success rate was insane, by the way, especially against Ray. Ended the set
Really?
with like a crazy 50-50 against the wall mix-up with melee.
That is pretty... It's meleeed again. Yeah, that's the tough part about fighting Storm as Sun. If you get hit against the wall, you can just get meleeed trying to get out. But if you don't try to get out, you'll just get checkmated instantly. It's a bit of a rough spot.
And we'll have to see what Speed can do here. Because if QP takes this card, that's QP in winners finals.
Something I think Speed could maybe be doing more is trying to gain positioning while QP's charging the basic. Kind of just sitting there and doing waffles in that time period, which I feel is a very precious time that you can use to move without fearing the wide.
Yeah, like right there, the wide just catching Speed. A bit rough, but... Oh, and Speed getting caught up a little bit. QP could capitalize on this. Oh, but Speed...
Wow, what an escape.
Yeah, just managed to escape from that unfortunate corner.
Oh, another tight escape.
Yeah, Speed's just finding the timings for these movements so well.
I wonder why... Oh, takes it. But I wonder why QP switched to Tap Storm in the last half of that game there.
Yeah, like QP's just been mixing it up a lot. And
Yeah,
now,
still on Tap Storm.
yeah, honestly, I like it, but it doesn't feel like QP, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, maybe what QP's doing is waiting for Sun to go to an unfavorable position against the tap basics, and then immediately starting the walls once Sun is somewhere. Unfortunate.
Yeah, and that was such a good setup from QP. Speed really had nowhere to go after that one.
Oh, caught by the basic.
Yeah, it's not often you see getting caught by the basic as Storm, like just straight up in the center like that.
Yeah, that was good though. Speed just used the charge time to diamond dash through a gap, and now is between the clone and Storm.
And Speed's just trying to find, I guess, just trying to dodge, just not trying to get hit, trying to keep the same place relatively, not trying to move
Yeah,
too much.
Against Tap Storm, it feels like you just wait for who bonks first. And maybe try to push Storm into the corner with diamonds to increase your chances. Yeah, Dispel Traps aren't very good against Storm. She's just too fast. Especially if she holds wide.
And Speed needs to get this one heart. Oh!
Whoa, what was that?
QP just moved in and out.
On my screen, it
Whoa!
looked like QP was moving while holding a charged basic.
And QP takes the card. What?
Do these players have a lot of history together, or is this like the first time they've played?
I feel like they've definitely played before, but they're kind of from slightly different times.
Time zones?
Definitely time zones.
Oh, QP lacks a bit of he just doesn't run through instantly. He hesitates a bit. When Sun spawns the diamonds on you as Storm, you can just like book it forward and just ignore them.
Yeah, I think this is like QP's best run so far. So I think they usually don't meet in bracket that often.
All right, last heart for Speed.
Oh, they did meet this January. And if QP takes it, this is probably QP's first bracket win against Speed. Just needs one heart.
Yeah, Speed probably really just hoping for a bonk at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a really good clone's position, but manages to get out.
Oh, and wow, okay. What a classic QP finish. Ended almost the same way against Ray, except that one was like more of a true 50. Crazy upset for QP.
Winners finals for QP. I feel like winners finals isn't really what most people would have predicted because the other side of the bracket was 2 upsets also.
Yeah. Now we have Hobo versus YLT.
Sadly, the person who didn't upset in winners round 2 was me.
But
Sad.
you also had the hardest opponent, seed-wise.
I did. Alright, so while LT beating Moo earlier in the bracket, another red player, bodes well for this, I think, for them. Unless Moo didn't play red.
Moo played red against Maven and then switched to Lich, and that was an unfortunate game.
Switch to Lich.
Yeah, against Maven of all people.
Yeah, a bit of an unfortunate choice.
And this is a winner semifinals you don't see every day. Hobo versus YLT at an event of this size. Yeah, you definitely don't see this one every day.
Oh no, I missed the spec window.
Oh, I shouldn't have said ready. Oopsie.
It's alright. I'll catch the next game. You can watch on stream.
Alright, and YLT not managing to get the clock, but landing 2 debuffs, and that slow could be very important, unable to get a hit with the wide.
You can tell their ping is high by how weird Arc's wide looks. It like pairs up the bullets.
That's true, though. The wide is...
It's like a different move at high ping. Arc's wide. So what I've always heard about this matchup is that Arc needs to basically just camp for late game because Red is too evasive to be hit before then. So we'll see if YLT goes for that strategy.
This is kind of an iconic character matchup, too.
It is.
This is the Frog versus Nyx.
Oh, true. Frog a bit before my time, unfortunately.
And YLT finding a foothold now. Like, no one's getting hit for a while. Manages to even it up as well, and the walls are slowly closing in, too. Looking good for YLT. Has beaten a theoretically harder red in Moo. But Hobo making it much farther in the bracket so far, so we'll see who the real success story is of red. Ray as well, still in the bracket. Now YLT just lands a mini, which could be the difference maker. Unable to get too much out of it, but stays alive as the walls close even further.
Yeah, Moon is going to start being really threatening soon. And Clock.
Oh, and that's checkmate Moon right there. Hobo saving Vanish for the critical last moment. Gets debuffed and mooned. Has to vanish. Vanishes out. But YLT cleans it up.
Right. Now, let's see if I can actually get and inspect this one. I could just give generic commentator things about matchup though.
True. Remember I was in BC and tried to do generic commentator filler?
Yeah.
It's so possible. It's so doable. YLT at a deficit of... Oh, well, now it's 3-2. But Hobo's still ahead. But
Oh, yeah. That was only one card?
That was only one card.
Oh, yeah, that took forever. I thought that was the game.
This matchup takes ages.
Yeah, I think it's forced to, though, because Art kind of can't hit red until late game, I think.
And
unless
also,
you get lucky.
And also YLT is kind of very good at dodging. Hobo kind of facing the stone wall that is YLT right now. YLT fishing with basics, but none of them landing. Layering 2 basics, trying to get into a more dense cluster, but YLT running into the wide and suddenly back at 1 heart, equalized now. Last hit situation yet again.
Yeah, I feel like the walls are still big enough that Hobo's probably favored here.
And you were right.
Oh.
Like
So yeah, it doesn't appear that debuffs are much of a thing in this matchup. We've seen a few, but YLT not really going for that many of them.
Yeah, and Red, one of the faster characters, makes it very hard unless you catch at the right position. Like, and Red's moves don't really slow down either.
Yeah, it's similar kind of thing kind of for Sun Basic. It doesn't really seem to be much of a threat to Red because she can just leave whenever. Oh, with the confuse.
Oh, good vanish to get out of that clock and the pressure as well. And I have to say, I think the player who goes to 1 heart the most often is YLT. Like, had like 4 of them versus Moo.
Wow, yeah. Pretty close.
Makes sense because it's Arcanist, but being able to clutch out those situations, being able to keep your composure, definitely super duper important. Wow, micros the super quick focus knives minified, but still, and death toll mattered. Can't believe it. Death toll mattered.
Not gonna lie, I think microing those knives was just getting lucky. That was like too quick, I think.
Yeah, that was definitely RNG. But
another call.
YLT takes the first game.
Okay, yeah, let me join up then. So I don't think YLT plays any other characters really, neither does Hobo, right? So probably just same characters all set.
Yeah, it feels like both of them, but Hobo, you cursed it.
Oh, I didn't think anyway, but I guess we will be seeing another character. Yeah, so my knowledge of this matchup is that walling is hard for Storm because you'll just get debuffed. So we'll see. Hobo doesn't appear to be going for... Oh.
I should say that. Oh.
Fall back to tapping, just a couple charge. Basics.
I'm not sure if this mix style from Hobo is going to see much success because YLT, one of the best dodgers in the tournament, finally gets a melee though.
Yeah, this, I'm not sure about this counter pick. Because unless you're going to wall arc in, seems like you're just going to bonk a lot. Especially for a non-storm main.
Hobo though, we gotta get some faith.
Yeah, let's see if Hobo can do it. I think needs to commit to one strategy or the other. Oh, gets a melee. Yeah, but you see, if you start walling, the debuffs will come out.
High key, slow is favorable for Storm.
I've said this too. I think sometimes getting slow to Storm is helpful. I don't think it makes clone not 100% uptime, which means it's probably just fine to be slow.
Oh, and Ray really doesn't want Hobo to lose. Does not like the hood mirror. I don't like the hood mirror too. I have to agree. But
You like the hood mirror?
what?
I'm just curious. I've never heard someone say that they do.
Wait, what did you say?
I've never heard someone say I like the red mirror.
Yeah. No one does. Do they? Does someone? Well, YLT takes it 2-0.
All right, so looks like we'll be seeing that matchup again probably in winners finals.
Yep. QP versus YLT. But first, we're going to losers quarterfinals.
I'm actually really curious to see YLT versus QP to see if the whole debuff stop walls theory actually is true, because for a long time I thought that Sun Basic prevented walls, but QP proved me wrong in that regard.
And in losers quarters, we have we have a grand finals matchup in losers quarters.
Oh yeah, we have Speed versus Maven. Crazy.
That's like a winners or grand finals type matchup. Really goes to show how monumental the upsets were this tournament.
Yeah. Made those of us in losers have a bit of a harder time. Like poor Riversand had to play Maven losers round 2.
Yeah, QP into Maven. Oh no. That's tragic.
QP into Maven. Not a fun bracket for poor old Riversand. All right, let me know when they join up so I don't miss the spec this time.
Well, they're here. They're here. Okay.
Okay.
Speed. I could swap sides. I need to swap sides button. I need to like code a script that swap sides.
Yeah, that would be good. As a fellow TO, I know the struggle. All right. So, a Sun player, yay! Something I can commentate somewhat knowledgeably. I've actually played Maven a decent amount in this matchup. I think some of the games, if Maven can get favorable flowers, it becomes very hard to win. But if you can kind of get Maven to overextend on the aggression sometimes.
Oh no, Maven is really overextending right now.
As I'm saying, sometimes bonks can occur. Ouch. A quick first card.
Alright, Maven, it's time for the mental reset. But to be honest, if I was Maven, like, I would be chilling right now. Because the one goal of qualifying, already achieved.
Maven bonking a lot right now. I wonder what the ping is between these players. It's probably not too bad, but still probably kind of high.
They're both like EU, right? So
yeah, but pretty far away from each other as far as EU matchups go.
That's true.
Dodges the diamonds.
Maven just showing off with this movement. Just walking
yeah, I
through.
feel like part of what can be tough for Lich is the slow movement speed makes Basic scarier than it is for other characters. Sun's Basic, that is.
Yeah, if you hesitate against Sun Basic or go the wrong way, you just get hit.
Yeah. Speed not opting to go for the Lich Killer strategy. Oh, maybe we're seeing it now. Yep, there we go, goes for it. Man, I'm really calling things before they happen today.
So true.
Yeah, so not a great screen position for Speed. Doesn't really have any safe places to stand other than like kind of the right side, but the butterfly position makes standing there difficult. Oh, but manages to take game 1.
Oh, you enjoyed playing against Maven? That's good.
Ooh, is that River in the chat?
Yup, Rio River.
Oh yeah, glad you enjoyed it.
Now Maven looking for an angle in, but walks up right back into the basic. Oh no.
Yeah. So from that position, you got to make sure you stop the flowers earlier than that. But when you have a wall up and you need to keep Lich from getting in, I find that like tap wide and focus basic are your best bet, and you can try to read a commit with tap diamonds and maybe get a hit. Ooh, but this is a pretty sad screen position for speed.
Yeah,
Nowhere really to stand.
Maven's early game was almost flawless this time around.
Yeah, so if I'm speed right here, I want to just make sure, yeah, there's no flower right there. That's what you want to avoid, but...
Really nice diamonds. Like, although Maven's definitely one of the better players at dodging diamonds, that positioning against the wall was brutal.
Yeah. So I feel like this is actually pretty good screen position for this wall size for speed. You just do not want to let Maven into your space. Just hold the line, hope for hits.
Ooh.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah, speed just a ton of room to move around, and Sun is definitely one of the characters that doesn't like feel hopeless against Lich.
At long range, yeah, it's very nice. You can still apply pressure even if you're on the opposite side of the screen. Yeah, Maven managing to get out, reestablish some control. Oh yeah, Dispel Traps, if Lich doesn't have Butterfly, are brutal in this matchup. So good recognition by speed. Fortunately, can't cross over without Dispel, but I guess can do so now with Spawn Invincibility. Yeah, I find sometimes if the walls are closing in, trying to hold the top of the screen is actually good against Lich. It stays in too long. But Maven walls it off, so has to commit either to left or right now. That was really close. That was so greed on the flower. What hit speed?
Not quite sure.
Alright, well, we go into the next round. Oh, wants the basic.
Really nice flower for Maven. Inside, doesn't back up into the diamonds too. A great spot.
Something I was thinking of the other day, like a hidden strength of Lich, is that charging flower is silent. So you have to be looking at Lich to stop it. You can't just recognize the sound while looking at yourself. But as Sun, you throw out a lot of basics just kind of at random if you're looking at yourself. So one of the characters that's better at accidentally stopping a flower charge.
And this could just be it for Maven here.
Oh yeah, these diamonds are going to be rough to get through. Oh, but no more layers from speed, so it gets out.
I think this could be it.
It seems like if you're a Lich player, you need to be on top of your diamond dodging game. Oh, this is... Oh, that's it.
Yeah, just when I thought it was looking good for Maven, it's caught up in speed setup.
Yeah, the screen position was good, but just got hit a little bit before being able to back out, hold the line. So next up is Ray versus Hobo, right? The red mirror.
Yup. Truly a curse brought upon by Omergosh. The return.
Omergosh. Did Omergosh make a big upset?
No, but like, it just so happens that this tournament is basically Red Sun plus QP and YOLT.
Oh.
And Maven.
Well, that's a lot of exceptions. I feel like you can't really say that at this point.
That's true.
All right, I'll be honest, I don't know a ton about this matchup aside from watching it a lot of times in the beginner tournament, so we'll see how some experts handle this. Something that was discussed a lot in those matches is whether it's better to focus kunai or regular kunai, so we'll see what these two expert red players have to say about that.
Speed was 2-0 Maven, right? Yeah.
I think so, yeah. Alright, so we'll see speed versus red. Okay, so yeah, I'm kind of excited to see a lot of these upcoming matches.
I'm excited for QP versus YOLT.
I am too, that should be hype. You don't get to see Arc Storm that much, I feel like. Because they're two kind of rare-ish characters.
Alright.
I feel feel like if I was a red player, I would always pick Green Hood in this matchup just so I could play against Red Hood.
I mean, well, yeah, I guess.
Just because I and some others I've spoken to find Red Hood easier to see than Green Hood. So it looks like we're seeing a bit of a mix of focus, non-focus for the moment from Hobo. Mostly focus from Ray until now. So, does this matchup like usually go late game? I've not seen much of it.
If both players are good, I feel like it usually goes late game, because
Yes.
like red has like the least guaranteed stuff, and when both players are very good at dodging, well, stuff happens.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the times if a game ends early with Hood and Hood wins, it's like because the opponent tried to rush in and messed up. But I don't suspect either of them will be rushing in.
Yeah, Ray definitely a player that loves to back up. The true evolution of Sonya.
So yeah, Sonya did back up a lot, huh? I guess this is what it looks like when you get even better. Although Sonya now a depth player, so
Yeah, they took off the training wheels.
yeah.
No offense to red players out there.
Yeah, so what I'm paying attention to right now is when they use what kind of kunai in what situation. Because honestly, that's like the only decision making I can really see occurring, aside from how much maybe to charge your basic.
Oh, Ray really loves doing double unfocus and then pausing as long as possible and then focusing so they all stack.
Yeah, that is a pretty neat trick.
Like, doesn't do it every time, but when they do it, it's noticeable.
Yeah, a trick I learned just the other day that I was not aware of before is that if you do basic, kunai basic, you can stack the basics a lot tighter than normal. But it does force you to do single kunai instead of 3, which is obviously not ideal.
You know, I'm just glad that we're not hearing Jewel Box music for the 20th time.
I like Jewel Box music.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of nice. Although I guess you've played the game a lot longer than me, so you hear it more.
Played is. I wouldn't use played.
You've been in the scene. Now imagine being a professional Smash 64 player where they only play on Dreamland, and you have to hear that song every match for eternity.
At least you could clap along to that one.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, yeah. Close dodge.
right.
Something that I've seen. Oh.
Ooh,
Yeah,
what were you
Ray
gonna say?
Oh, something I've seen some Red Hood players do, but not others, and I'm not sure why the others don't, is when you're like shooting the opponent and the knives are coming in, just spam tap wide, and it can sometimes catch people's escape.
And Ray just backing up once again. Hobo feels it feels like Hobo's chasing, but like Ray's just backing up.
Yeah, Ray just, whenever Hobo approaches, just goes to the other side of the screen and chills again. So, okay, so when, after a hit, it looks like Hobo, or not Hobo, it looks like Ray, after a hit, goes for Focus Kunai, which makes sense. Keep the pressure on during the hit slow. I don't know if there's an official word for that or not. But looks to be more willing to do unfocused at other times. I sure hope for these players' sake that they're playing with bullet transparency, because these wides on top of each other seems like it would be awful to navigate.
And since it's a red mirror, let's get into the existential questions that come up whenever the filler is needed. What do you think about a maiden spell rule set with 5 hearts?
I don't think I would want to change something like that, because snowball characters I think would benefit a bit too much, and those characters are already good enough, I think, to where they don't need it.
Alright, what about 3 hearts?
3 hearts would kind of be the opposite, where it would nerf the snowball characters. I'd be probably more open to it, because nerfing the snowball characters would probably make the game more balanced, but at the same time, I don't know, why change it? It's not like Storm and Depth are winning every tournament, or Lich, you know? Do you have different thoughts on this?
No, I was just asking them to fill time, and Hobo, bit of a lead now, could clutch this one out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much my opinion matters, but that's how I would think about it anyway.
Yeah, the trick is knowing that your opinion doesn't matter and pretending that it does. That's what I do.
Yeah. Oh, probably thinking invincibility lasted a bit longer than it did. A classic mistake from me anyway. It's showing itself on the big stage.
Ray, though, could just take it right here. This could be
He
the
just needs
end.
one more hit.
And I feel like Hobo's going to chase and Ray's going to retreating basic. It just feels like that's going to happen.
Yeah, well, let's see. Yeah, so something I keep seeing Ray do. Oh, Hobo takes a card. Ray's
Yo.
placing knives at the bottom of the screen and then trying to basic horizontally to get a crossfire, which I like. That seems like a pretty good strategy to get hits with red. Whereas Hobo's more placing knives to come at the same angle as the basic. You know, obviously you can't do it optimally every time, but, you know, when the opportunity presents itself, you can go for it.
Speaking of the thing that Mega mentioned in chat, like adjusting initial walls and all that, I would love it if Maiden Spell like had stages that mattered, like a circular stage that like shrunk in all directions, or like a stage that shrunk like top to bottom, and so you could like actually like counterpick and go to stages.
That would be cool to try, but at the same time, coming from Smash Bros, I kind of wish that game didn't have many stages, because sometimes matchups are really lopsided on certain stages, and it's like, well, I guess I lose if I don't win game one. So there'd be up and downs to it, but it would be cool at least to try out.
That's a 2-0 for Ray.
Good games to Ray.
Unless
Always makes you feel better when the person who eliminated you keeps winning. Alright, so are we gonna have winners next, or Speed versus Ray?
that's a good question. What's the usual format? I keep forgetting this one. This particular bracket interaction.
I'll be honest, I have no idea. I think for my tournament, I did winners finals first. Just because I remember in some tournaments, players that are like making a loser's run have to play a whole bunch of times in a row.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, okay, well, let's do QP YLT. Winners finals. The two very unlikely players.
Yeah, not what people would have predicted, but both are very good. Oh, and here they are. Oh, best of 5, yeah. Okay, so I'm really curious to see how the Storm Arc matchup goes. Do debuffs actually stop wall building? QP, let us know with your gameplay. You know, I guess Storm could try to build a vertical wall, maybe. I wonder how that works. But then again, Moon would stop that. Arc just seems kind of well-suited to stop walling. QP back to yellow. I wonder if like looking for more color contrast.
Maybe.
Oh, that looked like some lag, or was that just on my end? Yeah, QB not yet going for walls. Yep, and there's the debuff, but oh, just barely gets the clock out in time. More debuffs. Yeah, so it looks like you can debuff if Arc goes to wall, or Storm goes to wall, but
How much that stops it? That's the real question.
it feels like if you get Mini, it would help a lot. But YLLT in control this match, up 3-1. It looks like QP is at least somewhat scared to go for walling. So does QP play any other character? Seriously? I'm not sure.
I think it's very Storm dedication.
Yeah, I respect it. Storm is cool. Oh, bonks a wide. Yeah, this match is, if I had to guess, probably very high ping. I'm not really sure where QP's from, but I've heard people complain about ping before, and then, you know, YLT from Japan, so...
Yeah, and the YLT currently up, and definitely could make it happen still in this card. But QP's aggression just so well timed.
Yep. Oh, gets confused. That's probably really rough for Storm. Makes it hard to do much of anything.
That flash step was also really rough. Just flashed up right into the moon. Oh.
Barely dodges melee.
That was a classic QP attempt.
Flash step feels both really good and really bad at times. Like, it can get you exactly to the, you know, through all your opponent's pressure, and then sometimes it just doesn't have enough invincibility and you die. Oh, gets mooned.
Oh no, the clock startup. A bit late on pulling the trigger on that clock, and unfortunate.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like clocking Storm is really that realistic. Just too fast.
It definitely has to be like a hard read if you're gonna clock Storm.
Or maybe at endgame it gets more doable. We'll see. We haven't reached endgame yet.
YLT though, with a sudden lead.
Yeah, so it does look like... Okay, there's some walling attempts, but it's never for very long. It's like 2 rounds at most of walls.
Also, is QP like desyncing clones? Like with tap basic railgun? That's cool.
Yeah, you like... I think it's like a 100 millisecond window or something. It's on the wiki to do that. From playing against Storm, I feel like Railgun is just not good most of the time, because it just telegraphs so perfectly where your opponent needs to not stand. You don't really have much chance to trick them with angles or anything. They just know where to not stand. Yeah, something QP's really good at in other matchups is repositioning the clone to fill in the gap in a wall. But we haven't seen that much this match because we've seen minimal amounts of walling. Even there is afraid to go for a wall.
YLT's movement just feels very, very clean. Oh, and
oh, even avoids that.
Yeah, a lot of other players were caught by that earlier in bracket.
You know what? Something I need to keep an eye out for. Oh, gets mini. So yeah, this definitely makes Storm worse. I'm not sure if YLT is just moon spamming or is saving moon to push QP out of critical positions, because I feel like as Storm, it's one of the characters where you need to be in a certain place to get your checkmates. So if YLT saves moon to force Storm to not be in that place, it could definitely make it really hard for QP to land hits. Oh, the revenge hit.
And QP firing back, but we saw this in the previous game as well, so we'll see how far QP can take this one.
Forces QP back there. Ouch. Oh, almost clocks QP, but the invincibility's still there, saving QP.
And like, Moon is so like, such a good tool in this matchup, isn't it?
Yeah, the more I think about it, the more it just is. It just forces Storm to not be where Storm needs to be to checkmate you.
Really good clone position though. Has to clock out.
Yeah, maybe that's what you need to do. If you force out clock, now QP can go for walls because the debuff threat is gone for a while. I guess it's not that long.
Oh, and the tap basic just over and over, forcing YLT to dodge, and
yeah, that's something you don't see very much from Storm is the mid-charge basic.
yeah, the tap basic is just really, really good in my opinion.
I feel like if you play Tap Storm, you're giving up a lot of Storm strengths, but I guess in this matchup you kind of are forced to play Tap Storm.
Like, not necessarily as a playstyle, but like in situations where you can like, where you have like the clone like someone between your clones at a wall, those tap basics get really scary.
Yeah, it looks like Royalty hits a wide. Oh look, that's a good diagonal vertical wall. Forces clock.
Yeah, let's see what QP can do with that force clock off the table.
Just deciding to tap. No wall building here. That
Yeah,
might be a mistake.
I feel like they were waiting for clone refresh to try and get better positioning on the clone, but YLT recognizing moving up.
Yeah, if you wait though, clock just comes back and the debuffs are back online. I feel like you have to try to act immediately.
Oh, and YLT makes it out without getting hit or burning clocks now.
Yeah, nice. YLT takes the second game, but in that situation at the end of the game, exactly the moon thing happened again, because to checkmate there, Storm had to go to the bottom left corner and fire uncharged basic up, but that just wasn't possible because Moon was sitting there. Moon definitely the hero of denying space.
And YLT just, like, such good fundies. The dodging is... Arcanist is definitely a character that scales very, very well with dodging.
Yeah. You have to be, though, because Clock is just not a reliable defensive tool sometimes.
Yeah.
And you don't want to use it, because then it takes away your ability to debuff, which is like one of Arc's strongest tools. Completely changes this matchup.
QP going for charges. Flash steps in aggressively, but gets caught backing up. Not quite sure what they were going for. Maybe a better angle on walling, but...
You know, I have to wonder if the players in this match are aware of the dead zone indicator on Arc's wide, because some players you really would have expected to be aware of it were not aware of it when I asked yesterday.
Damn.
Or maybe it was a few days ago, but regardless, knowing about that really helped me fight Arc, so I hope QP knows about it.
I feel like QP isn't really hanging out in that area, though, just going for melees and bobbing in and out.
Yeah, but maybe if QP knew about the dead zone, would be a bit more confident in those melees.
True.
Because when I learned about it, it changed everything. It made the Sun melee attempts, it went from feeling random to like, yeah, I can kind of know where I can stand and not get hit. Although, if Arc's walking forward, it's not super reliable at that time. But it's good to know about, I think, nonetheless.
And like, we that whole sequence, we've seen QP catch so many other players with that entire sequence, like multiple times, but YLT just dodges it all and survives until min walls.
Yeah, is it 2-0 YLT right now, I think?
Yep.
Yeah, so last card for QP. YLT is just doing such a good job denying the checkmates.
And QP just needs to find something here to stay in this set, but I don't know. I feel like it's not going to happen this set.
Maybe we'll see QP back again in Grand Finals.
Definitely very possible.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, at min walls, the vertical checkmates become very threatening from Storm.
Oh, unfortunate
so does the
moon timing. Oh, that could be a difference maker. YLT losing the moon but getting a hit.
Yeah, QP needs to hug the wall now, or Moon will just checkmate.
I love how YLT doesn't hesitate when walking out of like the melee charge basic. Like other players hesitated and got caught by it so many times, but YLT just moves out.
Yeah, doing a great job catching the one free spot that Moon leaves with the basic. Has done that twice now.
Oh, and 3-0 clean set for YLT. Non-Nyx Arc in grand finals of a stack tournament. Not something you see every day.
That's pretty hype. Should definitely give something for the Arc fans out there to watch and learn from. I think we had River Sand in the chat earlier. Probably good to watch. Oh, and we have also in the MnS server Mega Blues popping off for this too. Definitely a good day to be an Arc player. So next is Speed versus Ray. This is one I'm going to be learning from, I think.
And yet again, a matchup you would expect to see in like winners finals. Just goes to show how crazy the upsets have been.
Apparently, Illy saying it's 4 a.m. for YLLT. So even gaming at unfortunate hours. Oh, let me get in there. Let me get in there. Okay.
Oh, clutch.
Just barely made it. Okay, so I'm really interested to see what Speed's plan is to hit Hood. Because it feels like Hood is very good at evading.
Isn't it 4 a.m. for Ray
setups.
too?
Yeah, I guess if they're both Japanese, it would be for him for Ray as well. I don't think Japan has multiple time zones. It's a very vertical
Good thing
country.
this is a tournament that will actually be under 3 hours. Let's go. I made so many sacrifices, but it's gonna happen. This is the best of 5, by the way.
It is? Is this?
It's top
This
4.
is losers semis.
Yeah.
Oh, do you do top 4? Yeah, my
Yeah.
tournaments are
Top 3.
the top 3 matches. I guess this is another case of if Speed loses. Speed will have lost to both the people I lost to. Or no, wait. No, that's not true.
Yeah, you didn't lose to Ray.
Both the people I could have lost to. I
Oh,
lost
you did lose to Ray.
And actually to Speed. So I guess it's impossible for Speed to lose to both people I did.
Yeah. Next time I'll find a way to make Speed play himself. Anyway, the walls are closing. Both players good at dodging, and the hits came pretty early.
Yeah, I guess that was tricky because if you go down, if the arc basic or the hood basic curves a bit, you might get hit. It's always scary to try to go under hood basic at the wall. You have to like kind of guess if you're not super familiar with it. Yeah, currently Speed just going for the basic wide game plan, but gets a hit. This is something I'll never understand. When I do the basic wide game plan, it just seems like it oftentimes doesn't work, but when other people do it, it just sometimes does work.
Like when I watched your set against Speed, it felt like Speed was consistently getting like better stacks of wide.
Oh yeah, I feel like I understand why I lost to Speed. I meant my set versus Ray.
I feel like that's happening here too. Like similar things, like the amount of, like what you gain off of every interaction.
And something else I learned in this tournament is that Sun players definitely spam diamonds more in tourney than they do in friendlies.
True.
Takes the card.
No mercy in bracket.
Yeah, I also spammed diamonds against him, so I'm no different.
I think the difference maker is like how much Speed can force the vanish situations, because when you were playing versus Ray, it felt like Ray always had vanish up when necessary, but Speed's getting like 1.5 openings per vanish.
I tried to figure out how Ray is pushing, or I mean Speed is pushing Ray to the corner, because it felt quite difficult to do. Okay, stacks waffles when Dispel is on. That's definitely something I should probably do more.
Yeah, the waffle stack I think makes a big difference because it forces Ray in, and then you can mix after
Man,
that.
Speed was so close to walking over a set kunai there. Takes game 1. Not sure what that Dispel was. Was he even in danger there? I didn't see anything.
Not quite sure. Right, and Ray looking to find a foothold in this best of 5.
Yeah, Speed right now not really gaining any momentum, just doing basic wide, and Ray's just walking right through.
Oh, and Ray Hesitates a little too much inside that basic.
I think it was a focus basic too, which means you have to be even faster. Cannot hesitate.
Oh, and again.
Speed almost got caught against the bottom wall by a vertical hood basic. You really just have to check your movement, and because the basic is so long, it can just form a wall, locking you in place.
Yeah, that was definitely like a massive early struggle, not trying to circle around the basic and getting caught by the tail end. You saw that a ton at Spellberta.
Is that like a early tournament for this game?
Yeah, that was Omer's tournament series.
Oh, was it?
Back
Nice.
in the summer after the game released, 2020.
In a different universe, I could have played in those. But Sun was just too awful. Could not bring myself to keep going. But now, we see Speed playing with a new and improved Sun. Up a card and a game.
Let's
Yeah,
not
feels like-
forget how red wide was in the early days of the game.
1.0 red wide was a complete joke. It's actually so funny how bad that move used to be.
Now that I'm thinking about it, both Red and Sun are like classic characters that have received like quality of life updates.
Yeah, they've both gotten so much better. Red wide is basically just a completely different move now. Instead of being useless, it clutters the whole screen. And then Sun Basic got a ton of buffs too. And
Yeah.
basically every move Sun has except for wide got buffed.
And there's the focus knives as well, adding a much needed like pressure that can't
I don't
be
know.
straight macroed.
I don't know how Hood players won any sets before focus knives are added to the game. Seems so essential. One more hit needed for Speed. And there it is. That's probably a lag hit, but takes the game. Maybe I should have gone for more lag cheese against Ray. Wait, was that 3-0?
No, it's 2-0. It's best of
Oh, they're
5.
saying GG's. I think the players think the set ended. Yeah, the players, I think the set is over. Alright, we'll have to go back and look at this match. Study it, just to see how Speed is. Maybe it's just better dodging. That's like the sad answer. I hope it's not just that.
And Omer says not having a local maiden and spell scene is the reason Spellberta just became a global tournament. Spellberta as in Alberta, Canada, which is actually in Canada, by the way. The iconic commentary moment featuring Caro and who was it? Was it Fur? I don't remember, but
Someone didn't think that Alberta was in Canada?
someone talked about Spellberta as like an American tournament, and Caro said Alberta's in Canada.
That does sound funny.
Yeah, that,
Unfortunate we got a bonk from Ray early on.
yeah, and Speed just so good at building these walls, by the way, just forcing out defensive tools. Not this time, though.
Yeah, maybe the trick to this matchup is you just have to be good enough at micro dodging that you can build the walls and not get hit while doing so. That could be it. So Vanish is up. Needs to force that out, probably, unless Ray just bonks. Another fantastic waffle wall. Gets hit, though. Sad. Can't complete it. It's kind of like Storm, I guess, where when you're building your wall and then you just get hit and your opponent just walks through everything.
And Speed kind of clawing it back here, but Ray also with a fair share of last hit situations. Doesn't have Vanish, 0.4 seconds off.
Ouch, that's definitely a problem these two characters share. The defensive special cooldown is quite long.
Yup. They take ages to come back, which makes Ray being able to like have it up on demand in previous sets so impressive.
Yeah, Speed there got caught by the thing that I think is kind of tricky about Red's basic is that the upper and lower part don't quite go in a straight line, so they can catch you trying to go around at the border of the arena. Because it looks like there's space to go through, but then it just gets to the wall and you get hit if you try to go past. Yeah, always stacking the basics after Dispel. That definitely seems like Speed's game plan. What happened? I was watching Speed. Oh, another hit. Yeah, Speed not going for much melee at all this set. Just playing the range game. Except for right then, I guess. Classic.
Speed cleans it up.
I can just make things happen by saying they're not happening. I have a special power.
A true commentator.
Alright, QP versus Centispeed. So this happened already, and QP won 2-1.
But it's a best of 5 territory. We'll see if the adaptations come in. Losers finals. Speed versus QP. Yo, good morning, Biomatter.
Good morning, Biomatter. Thanks for hopping in the chat. How many viewers we have right now? 23? Not bad, not bad.
I feel like Speed would pose a massive threat to YLT in Grand Finals, so I think
Really?
YLT is going to be rooting for QP here.
I don't know, most of my theory talking that I've done with Illy, we both seem to think that Arc wins this matchup. Arc Sun.
Uh-oh, I didn't spectate. There we
So,
go.
I do think Arc probably beats Sun, but we'll see how it goes.
Like, I'm saying that less matchup-wise and more, like, player-wise, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense. But let's see. Speed has to beat QP first. I feel like, yeah, YLT definitely would rather fight QP again, because that winner set, definitely YLT had full control, I think, the whole time. Sticking to the Yellow Storm. This is a matchup I would have expected purple for if it was for contrast purposes.
Oh, immediate flash step. Does not want to get caught instantly. But, oh no, the wide drift.
Yeah, the way I feel about this matchup is it's like, in theory, probably really hard for Sun, but in practice, it's hard not to bonk this as Storm.
Yeah. You just need so much fine control to get around wide walls. Especially when they're at odd angles.
Yeah, and I feel like basic, it has to at least somewhat discourage the charge playstyle. Because if you get caught in a basic while charging your own basic, that's not good.
I think that's why QP is going more for like fishing into melees.
Yeah, the way QP's playing right now is how Minkle usually plays against me in this matchup. 1 heart to 1. So, I mean, if Minkle does it, that means there's probably a good chance it's just the correct way to play.
And QP brings it back.
I feel bad for Speed. He took like the millimeter of a step and got hit by wide. Definitely feels bad.
Oh no, and getting mixed now. And QP finding opportunities, getting hit there, but I think like if eventually I go through with the MnS stats type of thing, I want to do like, I want to track stuff like openings per hit, because QP's like really efficient.
Opening?
Like openings as in like, I don't know how you measure them, but like you can definitely define QP getting in there with a basic as an opening. And like,
yes, yeah, that nice wall, but just gets deleted by flash step.
wow, Speed managing to get out of there.
Oh, gets bonked so wide again. These players definitely have high ping, so Stormwide probably in full form. QP take game 1. Yeah, QP, I agree with Rem in the chat. One of the things I think QP is best at is after the opponent gets hit, getting set up for the next hit. QP's very good at that. That's something I struggle with a lot when I fight QP. It's just, it feels like if I get hit, I'm just going to get hit again. Especially if QP plays the wall style.
Wizard's saying Oki and MnS, but Frost is one of the Oki characters, by the way. Like,
Frost?
yeah, Frost is definitely a big Oki
Mm.
character, even though
You
you.
like it?
It's
What do you do?
because even though you have nothing on screen, in certain matchups, like you have oppressive Oki. Like Lich matchup, you can like 50-50 roll.
I guess, yeah. That does seem good. Normally as Sun, what I do is if especially against Hood, I feel like that's one of the matchups where it's very useful. If you just sit on the opponent and just do basic wide, it forces them to not get comfortable in their invincibility and have to move, maybe bonk something.
Oh,
as they come out.
QP went for that hit. If they got it, it would probably have snowballed into the card win. But Speed moving out of the way.
Ooh, rough. It's hit by the melee. Yeah, that was a really good angle, Clone and Storm, to make it weird to dodge. Bonks diamonds, though.
Speed now kind of playing like QP's playing, weaving in and out.
Yeah, Speed yet to employ the somewhat experimental strategy that I sometimes see where you just sit on the clone. I did that a bit in my set versus Glitch to some success.
Oh yeah, how did that go? Was it like a clean 2-0 or like was it close?
Aside from me getting cheese hit with melee, I feel like I was in control most of the time.
Mm.
Yeah, I think I really only got hit if I got meleeed. Glitch definitely loves to go for the melees. But it definitely was also a set where I kind of cheesed with diamonds because it didn't seem like Glitch was prepared for the diamond dodges that day. And you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. Ooh, Bonk's trying to come in.
Yeah, wait, Frost is the grappler. What are y'all talking about? Stunwave is literally a grab. What the heck?
I feel like the grappler is Worm, because Worm's a character
That's
that just wants to
true.
get in and is really strong when in, but is really weak when out. Alright. That game goes to Speed. I'm afraid I don't remember what the score. Is it 1-1?
Yep, 1-1.
Yeah. When I don't have the overlay to help me out, I sometimes just forget. Oh, gets a wide spawn. Lag cheese from both sides this set. Okay, so it looks like QP's trying to wall. Oh, gets caught by the basic. I'd love to see, if QP does continue that, how Speed tries to prevent the wall from going up.
Speed playing pretty stably now, and QP trying to find an angle in, but
Yep.
looking a bit
QP does
lost.
diamond. Bonks. Yeah, this is, I feel, is where you're comfortable as Sun. If you can manage to get the clones... Oh, yep. Nice clean round. But if you can manage to be... It's weird because the good positions versus Tap Storm and Charge Storm are different. Because with Tap Storm, you want the clone and Storm to be as close to each other as possible. But with Charge Storm, you want the opposite. You want to be, like, in between. So it's quite weird where, like, the optimal position against one style makes Storm want to do the other one. I feel like Charge Storm is scarier, so you should probably just position in the good place for Tap Storm. Because if you position in the good place for Charge Storm, you might just get checkmated. Looks like a bit of a rough situation for QP. Oh, it finds the hole. And bonks. I believe that is 2-1 for Speed.
And real quick before this game starts, the more I think about it, the more I'm willing to support my bad take that Frost is actually the grappler. Like, look at gameplay, high-level gameplay where Frost is struggling to like find anything. That's totally grappler.
So you mean Frost being bad means Frost is a grappler?
No, Frost struggling means Frost is a grappler plus stun wave.
I don't know if I buy this theory, personally. I like my Worm as the grappler theory better.
I can understand that. Honestly, Lich is the real grappler.
No, Lich is the set play character.
Yeah, that's what Lich mains want you to think.
No, Lich is definitely the set play character.
Lich is actually the grappler.
QP dodging diamonds for a while. Oh yeah, managed to get through even the double layer. Good work.
And it looks like Speed has fully adapted after the winner's side loss.
Yeah, we're seeing Wall Storm now. Let's see if this is more successful. Manages to get a hit there.
Long DS cooldown come into play.
Yeah, so what Speed did there is something I should definitely do more. Diamond dashed out after getting hit, because if you don't do that, Storm can just checkmate you again against the top wall. So love to see that. Definitely good. Yeah, fully committing to the charge style, it seems now. Honestly, this is what QP's good at. QP should just be doing this, I think.
It just needs to rinse and repeat one more time, but will Speed let it happen? That's the question.
Yeah, I honestly feel like when I play against QP's Charge Storm, I'm forced to hug the clone or I'll just get checkmated really fast.
Speed makes it out, though, without needing the dispel that just came up.
Yeah, something else we're not seeing from Speed that I feel like should be done more, I was just experimenting with this earlier today, is when Storm is charging basic, you just gotta run. That's like your one moment of free movement in the match that isn't dictated by wide. So if you have somewhere you want to be, that's the time to go. You see, just channeling wide while QP's charging the basic, not moving, but I guess it gets out, so it's fine. And who's to say I'm even correct? I could be very wrong about this.
You know, I feel like I'm wrong about, like, half the things I say on commentary, but... I feel like you would be correct more of the time.
I've been playing a lot. You'll see.
QP, though, really needs this card. Managed to clutch out the last one, but it's another match point for Speed.
We're going back to Tap Storm for a bit anyway. Yeah, right. Oh, manages to get hit with the diamonds. Yeah, sometimes when Storm's walling, if you just spam diamond, you can like sometimes get out if Storm messes up. Yep, there it gets out again. Now right here. Oh.
Damn. But
I find hugging the clone when it's on the wall is pretty dangerous. You don't want to do that.
Oh, QP barely gets out of that one, but the diamonds are coming. Walks past everything and gets the... Wow, okay, QP.
Yeah, when Storm just runs through everything, that's where it's like, okay, I guess my moves don't exist.
Yeah, and QP just consistently finding angles to just run through everything, too.
It's hard, though. QP needs to not get hit here. I like the focus basics from Speed to keep QP at bay. Uh-oh.
Speed resetting pressure as well.
Yeah, that was another one of those, I think, clone replace checkmates that QP seems to be so good at.
Oh, and QP has to dodge so much.
Yeah, what I was talking about earlier with Storm needing to be in a certain place to checkmate, the clone replacements can sometimes help with that, because if you need to stand somewhere dangerous to checkmate, you can just put clone there instead, and it's fine. Maybe that's what QP needs to be doing against
QP got it?
It takes the game, nice.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, because what I'm thinking here is like, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't talk about other matchups, but think about if at the end game, QP places the clone where the moon is and then stands in the other place and tries to get a vertical checkmate. That seems like it could be good.
I can't believe QP clutched that out. Crazy.
Yeah, that was pretty good, but now we're seeing some hits on Speed, so maybe QP will take this after all.
QP with a lead too can go for a few 50-50 attempts, definitely. Doesn't even need to. Catches Speed walking in with the clone charge basic.
Sorry, I was interrupted for a bit. What's gone on?
QP takes the first card. It's the final game.
Oh boy. Okay, let's see if Speed can bring it to the last card, or we'll just fall here to the Storm Menace. That's a good waffle wall, but QP finds a way through. Ouch. Yeah, running into Storm is really risky, because if Storm charges basic, you'll probably just get hit. Things not looking good for Speed. That is a very scary position, but there will be a gap. Yep, there's the gap, but gets a hit. Doesn't need the gap.
Now, will Speed be able to hold on here?
Oh yeah, something we saw a lot in the last qualifier with Rem versus Zale is Rem actually played at melee range a lot versus Zale. I wonder if that's just a thing versus Tap Storm, or if Speed could try that against the Charge Storm as well.
It's definitely like harder against Charge Storm, especially with QP's like melee trigger happiness, but I feel like it could be possible. It would just require very quick reactions.
Yeah, I think Rem's in the chat. Maybe can comment on this if you like doing so.
Alright.
Oh,
QP's down now. Speed has a chance to send us the final card.
yeah, Speed hasn't taken a hit since 2. Yeah, it takes 4 straight. Final card.
Really, really down to the wire.
Escapes the melee. This matchup feels like one of the ones you actually can play by play because it's not too hectic.
It is. I think Storm in general feels like it's a very play-by-playable character.
Alright, let's see. Will QP outskill the diamonds or have to defensive special? Oh, neither will get hit.
Yeah, I think I saw the startup with Flash Step, unless I was wrong, or was that clones?
I think I saw that as well, but it didn't go on cooldown, so maybe it was like a rollback or something? Not quite sure. I'm not sure how that ability works, because some defensive specials, if you get hit while channeling them, you like get part of the cooldown back early. Like Liches, I think if you get hit, doesn't have as long cooldown. Oh, but we're last heart.
I can't believe QP risked that. That could have been the end right there. That could have been Speed at a lead.
A risky diamond dash from Speed could have bonked wide, but we're at last heart. Who's going to take it? Dispel forced out.
Can't believe QP didn't get hit there too. Ducked into the Dispel for a brief moment.
Oh, that was so close. Oh, bonks wide.
And QP takes it.
Looks like we'll be seeing a rematch in Grand Finals. Will QP do better this time? Hopefully. It'd be nice to have like a really hype close Grand Finals.
But yet again, the two unexpected reach the final stage.
Not that unexpected. They're both really good, but I guess it could have, not the most expected.
They definitely dodged Maven.
Yeah, who did Maven lose to? Maven lost to
Hobo and Speed.
Hobo and Speed. But still qualified nonetheless, so probably is not that unhappy about it.
Yup. All right.
Oh, make sure I don't misspectate it.
They're going to take a break for a tiny bit, I think. QP's been on a bit of a grind.
Okay, so during the break, maybe that's the best time for something.
An announcement, perhaps.
Yeah, maybe. So, looks like we do have some people in chat that this would be relevant for. So, there will be a beginner tournament again this weekend. Honestly, I wish I could give a more concrete time. Maybe people in the chat, would you prefer like 11:30 in the morning CST on Saturday, or in the afternoon on Sunday? Next weekend. Next weekend, not
weekend.
tomorrow. Sorry, yeah, next weekend. Would the people prefer early on Saturday, American time early, or afternoon American time on Sunday? There will be one of those days. If I don't get feedback, I will just pick one. But there will be Beginner Tournament Part 2. And if I get enough players for 4 beginner tournaments, then we will be doing a showdown of the 4 winners of the 4 beginner tournaments. And that might be the end of that, because at that point I might have to go back to school. So that's the long-term plan. Hopefully the beginners are excited for the 4 tournament series, plus the finale. If Sonya wins again, because Sonya will be allowed to compete on depth only, then the second place person will be in. We're seeing some yays. Why study in school when you could study the hood mirror? You see, the thing about that is I don't like playing hood. So I have no desire to ever study the hood mirror. But yeah, so it looks like we're seeing most people can't do Sunday, and we're seeing early. So yeah, it appears the plan will be early on Saturday. Yeah, perhaps this tournament we won't see. I think top 4 winners last time was 4 hood players. Let me actually fact check that real quick. Was that the case? Thank you for letting me announce on stream, Saya. Appreciate it.
I mean, it would be kind of weird to not, wouldn't it?
I don't know. I mean, you don't have to do anything. But I did raid you last time. So now, I guess, we're even. Alright, so, kind of correct. The top 4 winner side was 3 hood players and Wizzoed. So 3 of 4.
And then the liches came from the losers bracket.
Yeah, both liches went on a crazy losers run. It's kind of insane. We had both Digital Cake Bell, who won 1, 2, 3 sets in losers, and then Biomatter, who won a full 5 sets in losers. Crazy. Oh, I said, Wizzo, that you were in the top 4 winner side. You were the only person in that part of the bracket who was not a hood player. So, yeah, hopefully next bracket we'll see a bit more character diversity. I think Sonya playing depth will probably help with that. Game Freak, I think, plays Lich, so we'll be joining the bandwagon of high-placing Liches and Hoods, potentially. Ban Hood? I don't think I'll be banning Hood. If Hood wins every tournament, like 1 to 3, maybe for number 4 we'll have a Hood banned event. That could be fun. Thoughts?
Make sure to
Saya?
spectate.
Oh, yep. Alright, well, enough of my announcement. Let's get back to this tournament. Be sure to show up if you want, and we'll get into grand finals. I'll post an official announcement later today.
Alright, and QP with a strong start.
Manages to force out clock, so maybe he can go for more committal walls now that debuffs are down. Oh yeah, I guess the people in the chat, if anyone wants to be co-commentator for the beginner tournament, you can DM me.
Run an event called Hall of Mirrors, Mirrors Only. Mecha already has that with the exact name, unless that's the joke.
Yeah, the Mega Hall of Mirrors tournament was actually my first ever event. It was pretty fun. I enjoyed it. So we're getting to endgame quite quickly here.
QP. What? 4-1 right now?
Yeah, making it look like the first set never happened. But YLT maybe just needs to get warmed up. Has been sitting on the bench for a while. Oh, that's a scary position. But finds the hole. I think, was that Moon that stopped the checkmate there, potentially? I think QP hit the Moon.
Yeah, we'll see if YLT can, like, kind of stabilize, because you gotta do a lot of very quick reaction dodging against QP trying to shake you up. And QP gets caught while chasing Wild LT up towards the top wall. It looked like Wild LT was so doomed there, but not quite.
Yeah, the situation last game where it looked like QP could really get hits is if you managed to get like the clone and the storm kind of diagonal to Arc and checkmate in the corner, because then you're not threatened by debuffs and you can still hit Arc. Didn't manage to find that situation much this game though, or that card.
And QP really needs to find these openings. Not really playing supercharged Wally.
Yeah, not much. Tried that in like game 1 of the first set, but got debuffed a bunch of times. Maybe he's just been discouraged ever since then. Alright, we're seeing some of those diagonal walls again. That seems like what you need to do. Oh, but it gets basic. I feel like that could have been a clock if YLT was really on top of it. Because Storm charged basic right next to Arc.
I think a question is... Oh, nice trade. But I think a question is... Do you really want to risk clock? Because I don't think so. Because if Storm gets a charge off, then you really, really want it for defensive purposes. Like if you get walled. And also being able to... Like it just reduces the ability to punish with debuffs. I feel like it's too much of a risk.
Yeah, you're probably right, actually. I think that is true. You probably don't want to clock, because I think if some people's talks about Arcanist that I've heard is correct, I think you actually don't get a guaranteed hit in this matchup after clock. Storm can always escape. I've never played much of this matchup, so I don't know if it's true, but I have heard that Storm just doesn't get hit after clock. Oh, Flash Step betraying QP a bit there.
And it looks so good for QP in the first card, but maybe it was just YLT warming back up. Because it's looking really, really dominant now.
Yeah.
That's a paralyzed too? Holy.
Wait, when did that happen?
Just a raw paralyzed cross screen. YLT is cracked.
I think Paralyze just caused a hit there too. Paralyze, I think, is probably the best debuff in most matchups. Or at least one of the best. You're like never unhappy to land it.
Yep.
Oh, it's a melee revenge hit. Okay, yeah, QP there, that was really good. Was doing a wall and slightly dragging the charge basic up, so was not to be in debuff range.
YLT just made so many good choices, but also made one mistake and got hit for it.
QP flash steps into the moon though, so now it's last heart. Both players just holding wide.
Yeah, that mini is scary. Oh, YLT daring QP to press a button.
Looks like QP probably does know about the dead zone indicator, because QP stayed right inside of Arc's dead zone there, but loses the game nonetheless.
And YLT just playing so controlled.
Yeah, very close to taking the event with Arcanist. When's the last time an Arc player won something other than Nyx? Maybe?
That's a very good question.
Yeah, so definitely providing hope for all the Arcanist mains in the world.
I guess there was also like one event where Illy just played Arcanist, but other than Illy Nyx, that's a good.
I feel like Illy playing Arcanist doesn't count. Oh, well, goes for the clock there.
Wow.
I'm not really sure what happened. I kind of lagged out, but QP takes the card.
That was just hit after hit. And QP, I think, needs to force those like scramble situations. Just get as many layers in as possible and hope that one of them lands.
I liked what QP was doing earlier, where they would like start the charge basic a bit below Arc, and then if Arc goes down to debuff, release and start building a wall upwards. And if you start the wall closer to Arc, you can like just drag the basic a bit up. That seemed like it was working. I think that's the card where QP got a lot of good hits.
But YLT's just not pressing anything committal. Like when QP's doing the nothing. Like QP finally got one, but that was after like 10 attempts.
Oh, just barely misses the clock. I've heard clock is hard to hit at high ping too, so maybe that coming into play.
And
yeah, QP playing inside the dead zone. Doesn't find anything. That attempt though.
oh, and
Ooh,
YLT gets caught there. This could be QP's game.
Yep. Oh, bonks wide, unfortunately. Storm problem. Invincibility prevents the clock. Ooh, that's a good, like... I feel like that wall just kind of was luck, but it probably wasn't. That was probably planned. And QP takes the game. Nice. Not a 3-0.
Could be QP set, and this could be the momentum. Definitely not out of it, especially if... oh, well, that basic was so good. And a clock as well? QP playing the dead zone really well, though, while debuffed.
Yeah, something I find troublesome if you're debuffed and you try to play the dead zone, I mean, if you have like a lot of debuffs, is Paralyze can just freeze you and let Arcanist back away to where you're not in the dead zone and you just get hit.
I think, like, each card really depends on how many melees, like, QP gets.
Yeah, all except for that one where QP did the dragging upwards wall, which they just seem to give up on doing for some reason. Maybe there's probably some reason for it that I'm not aware of, but it seemed quite effective that one round.
What good awareness by YLT to basic there, by the way.
Crazy movement, just bonks. Being inside the dead zone more. Look how much it makes the wide just go crazy.
Yeah, and YLT just... You see YLT just not committing to anything while QP's on top inside the dead zone, but this time QP's getting successive hits. Oh no.
Yeah, okay, chance for a diagonal wall. Kind of works, I guess.
Wow, YLT greeted so hard there.
Yeah, that was the really good Oki, because he just set up the charge basic while YLT couldn't really reposition because of the slow. Definitely a good play.
Oh, and catch... YLT kind of self-catches there, and again...
Yeah, QP getting into set play mode now. YLT gets out, though. You know, these mid-charge basics seems like they're almost hitting. Maybe QP should give that a bit more of a try.
Yeah, definitely depends on where they're being mixed in. Oh, YLT barely gets out.
I'm impressed YLT didn't bonk wide escaping that, because that's the exact kind of situation where you need to move when you just bonk wide.
We've seen YLT win these before, but QP right now just feels really, really hot.
Yeah, but Paralyzed could just randomly bonk. Paralyzed gone now.
Oh, and a really nice melee basic. And a
I'm
clock
not sure
as
if that was a
well.
clock to try to catch QP going in or was defensive. Yeah, there we go. That's the drag up wall. Yes, yes. This is what we need to see.
This should be checkmate. YLT gets out.
What an impressive escape.
Now just one hit could decide everything here.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't like the railguns. It's just so telegraphed.
Oh, QP.
2-2. We have some people, notably Biomatter, hyped for the Arcanist success in the chat. But we also have people cheering for QP. Both players seem to be popular with the crowd.
I mean, both players, I think, are very, very sick.
Oh yeah, I'm a fan. They're both playing super well. QP was maybe a bit not at first, but has really turned it on in the grand finals. as opposed to the winner's final set.
Yeah, definitely another level 4 QP.
Oh, yeah, that was a rough situation, but manages to get a hit. No debuffs for a bit. Can keep you take advantage.
Both players really want this hit, and QP's the one who takes it.
You know what, Sai? If there's a reset, the 3-hour dream might not happen.
3 hour. Oh, true. Let's go, YLT. Come on, YLT. You got this. You can clutch it out.
It's probably like 5 in the morning at this point for YLT. Impressive that they can keep playing so well.
This card is so good, though. What the heck?
Oh,
So many
yeah.
basics. So many basic approach parries.
Arcanist Basic, it sometimes feels terrible, but at other times it like just tracks you and you just can't do anything while approaching. And especially the unfocused basics, the angle is so awful sometimes. It's like, why did it go that way?
Yeah, Arc Basic feels like Lich Basic, but like heavier, in a sense.
Yeah. I think Lich Basic is a bit denser at like point blank range though, but I could be mistaken about that.
I think it comes out. Like sooner. But so far, YLT with a small lead, but QP wanting to plug that gap. YLT though super patient in the dodging, manages to get out.
Yeah. That was a great choice of where to stand. It was like the one place where the orbs were never going to cross over. Super great decision making.
This could be it. This could be the tournament right here. Gets a paralyze. Oh no, fake paralyze.
Debuffs ally a lot at high ping, unfortunately. Oh, goes under the moon just barely.
And YLT's dodging all of this. Like QP's managing to set up so many like openings, but YLT's just not getting hit. Casually walking through the clone as well. Finally gets hit.
Right on top of the clone is actually pretty safe. The only danger is if a basic charges and hits you.
Oh, last hit.
Will we see a reset?
QP just tap basicing, trying to find a misstep from YLT, but
We haven't seen super late game in a while.
Oh,
the reset.
YLT goes for the clock and
Crazy. Yeah, QP really showing the adaptation in that matchup.
it's time for a reset.
So who do you think will take this reset?
I don't know. I think it's favoring QP a little bit because YLT definitely disadvantaged in the time zone.
Yeah, true. I actually don't know where QP's from, but more than likely it's like fine right now. More fine than Japan anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, YLT congratulating QP on the win. Very wholesome.
3 hour dream is dead. It's gone.
Hey, maybe we'll see a stomp. We have 9 minutes for it to still be 3 hours. A stomp could end in 9 minutes.
True. However, oh no, YLT getting caught up quite a bit. QP playing a bit of charge now.
Yeah, let's see if QP goes back to the charge style more. Or just keeps playing Psycho Melee. Yeah, this diagonal wall strategy seems like it might have some potential.
Oh, and QP just did 2 melee attempts in a row, and YLT managing to get out from both of them.
Oh, the basic.
I love how YLT like presses clock in like situations, like presses debuff and like selects clock or debuff depending on if QP got hit. Like that debuff after QP got hit, that was like basically a option select.
While that is possible, I've also had that happen by accident while playing, so I'm not sure if it was intentional every time. It's as if the game wants you to not accidentally clock after getting a hit.
Yeah, but like it's so
We'll
much
say it's
cooler
on
if you
purpose,
pretend
though.
it's on purpose.
Yeah, I mean, it may well have been. I'm obviously not an Arc player, so what happened on accident for me could be definitely on purpose for YLT. Both
Yeah.
players holding wide. Both players really still holding wide.
Both players not wanting to risk anything. Oh,
YLT
wow.
gets hit. Oh, this is such a cursed game. Both players just holding wide.
Definitely favors YLT a tiny bit though. We've seen them play so well at endgame.
Yeah, they can also moon while holding wide, so has a tiny bit more pressure, I guess.
And what a massive lead already.
Alright, will we get the drag up walls? Yep, there we go. Could potentially wall even through the clock. Not quite. Moon forcing away. Game 1 to YLT.
And yeah, those point blank arc basics to stuff out the storm running in. Definitely a lot to do with like how you move with the basics too.
Yeah, I think the way arc basic is usually done is if you suspect that your opponent will run straight at you, you focus. But if you think they're going to try to circle you, you don't focus, and sometimes the weird angle can just catch people.
Definitely a lot of prediction going on too by YLT with those basics, like trying to... Oh, what are you gonna say?
Oh no, I'm just gonna talk more about the walls. I've done that enough already though.
QP off to a lead, but YLT not getting caught there. Catches Storm backflipping.
YLT finally deciding to pull out the clocks on the melee attempts. Whenever I go for melee in this matchup with Sun, clock is like an ever-present threat, but I guess Storm is fast enough and clock valuable enough to hold on to that.
He gets another one though. YLT pulling out all the stops.
Maybe deciding that the defensive clock not as important, so we'll just go for it offensively.
Maybe wants to speed up the pace of the game as well.
But yeah, maybe getting tired, wants to just be done with it.
But QP just needs one more hit here and those charge
There should be a
basics.
hole. Yeah,
Yep.
there we go.
I've heard that like there's this, I guess, timing where you should just wide instead of basicing to plug up a hole. Like there's the angle or timing.
Yeah, to my knowledge, what it is if your opponent needs to move quickly to not get checkmated, holding wide is a good idea.
And YLT brings it back, a little comeback, and looking to push a lead.
Yeah, I'm not an expert Storm though, so that might be wrong.
And yet again, the melee basic, so good, but gets caught up by the wide. Oh, completely reads YLT's movement back. And QP is just getting these melees. This, yeah, wow. QP like coin flipped, rolled the die, and it came out the right side a bunch of times.
That was a really close base. I think those clocks have make QP respect Arc's melee range a bit more. You notice QP not playing close up nearly as much this card.
Oh,
But goes in briefly.
kind of tries to go behind Arc.
That basic, how did that happen? That was like nowhere near where Arc was.
No
Arc's
clue.
basic times. Just shooting from nowhere.
Oh,
that, great set play.
yeah, caught in the middle of 4 of them.
Yeah, that poison bubble actually checkmating hilariously. The poison bubble meant that QP couldn't go up.
This is super random, but do you think there's an application for pretending to be clocked when you're not clocked?
Given how big the indicator is that you got clocked, I'm gonna say probably not. Like, I don't think you could trick Arc into thinking you got clocked when you didn't.
But what if you stand?
Unless it's, like,
if you stand
lagged,
perfectly
says you
still?
If the game lags and Arc gets told that you got clocked, then maybe it would be valuable to do that. But also, you would just get debuffed. So, and you can't hit Arc and clock, so I feel like you probably wouldn't want to do that ever.
But I really thought YLT was winning that game, but QP Huh.
Is it 1-1 now?
Yep.
All right. Will the set finish before my food arrives? That is the true question.
And we are 1 minute away from the 3-hour mark. Doom approaches.
My clock off, it's 2 minutes for me.
I started the stream slightly before. Is Violet swapping? Oh.
Oh, QP or YLT is not in the lobby anymore. I think they crashed or something, potentially.
Violet's still on my screen. That's crazy.
Oh, wait, really? YLT is not in the lobby on my screen.
Oh.
Maybe we should reset the lobby.
Yeah. Back to the lab again. All right. Grand final.
I'll be in a second. Don't let them start yet.
Yep.
Oh, YLT. Okay, there we go.
Oh, okay. So YLT's network had problems.
Where are we hearing this? Is this in the
Yep, call outs.
call outs? 1 min or I lose? What is that?
It's okay though. We can wait. I didn't. It took way. It was way faster than what I would expect a network problem to take. Honestly.
Yeah, usually if my network goes down, it's not up that quickly.
That was speedy. Speedy recovery. Wait, first set was 3-2, right?
Yeah, man, was it 3-2 or was it 3-1?
It was 3-2, surely.
Yeah, I think it was 3-2 probably. Come on, Tio.
I don't remember. It's not on screen anymore.
You can check the VODs.
Alright, thanks besties in chat. It was. Oh, goes for a cheeky clock on the flash step. Doesn't make it happen though.
You know what is funny, as they said in chat, YLT's internet crashed about as the 3-hour dream died.
True.
But dominant this game.
Very.
Maybe pulling out QP's momentum a bit with the intentional crash conspiracy theory.
Secret Sun Tech too.
Secret Arc Tech this time.
Yep. Secret Sun Tech was such a funny meme.
A bit too long there.
YLT, no clock, unable to get out of that particular charge basic wall.
Debuffs? Alright, lands 1 debuff, Paralyze. Going for more.
Oh, greed's a little bit too much. And it looks like this is QP's card.
Yeah, as dominant as the last one was for YLT, this one's just as much for QP. You know, the thing about confusion is, it hurts, but at the same time, generally you want to be horizontal to the opponent when walling anyway, so like, it doesn't really hurt you if you're in the ideal position.
True.
But yeah, you don't want to be horizontal just because you'll get other debuffs on you, so I guess it's kind of useful. Makes walling in any other position completely impossible.
This is basically a best of 3. The first game of a best of 3.
Is it? Why?
Because they're 1-1.
Wait, really? This isn't the first game of this set? I'm pretty sure this is game 1.
No, this is game 3. Wait. This is game 3,
crazy?
right, chat? Chat, this is game 3.
I think it's not game 1? Man, okay, I'm really losing it. I'm sorry, chat. I thought YLT's internet crashed after the set ended. I guess that kind of threw me off. Look at all those unfortunate debuffs.
Oh,
Both players just kind of not doing anything for some reason.
bit of a little state. And QP looking to take this game. Just needs one hit and there it is. True, you have to let it go, Max. 3-hour incident wasn't your fault.
To let go. Oh.
But it's tournament point for a tournament game for QP here.
J Feather saying I got confused by art.
Through the screen.
Let's see. Can QP close it out, or will YLT bring it to game 5?
Damn, Max, you had to have been standing in the same place for way too long. Like
I haven't left this chair for hours.
getting hit by debuff all the way from Japan.
Oh, what a nice basic. Yeah, well, I like what YLT did there. Basically deciding to run while the basic was being charged. Like, that's the one time you can move and not die to wide. Oh, it's wided there.
And YLT once again kind of stuck. Makes it out at the top. Not quite sure what QP was pushed off by. Probably a moon.
Probably moon. Oh, the melee. That was a really, really good clone placement for the double melee. I'm impressed. That was
Yeah,
good.
but that was like unavoidable. And QP is looking to clean up here. And if QP wins, this is probably like one of the greatest tourney runs.
Really? I was under the assumption QP was like not that unlikely to win tournaments.
But like beating Speed. Wait, yeah, beating Speed twice. And Ray. That's kind of crazy. 2 Speeds and Ray.
Speed and Ray, definitely the 2 best players in the tournament. No one else could have stopped me. Obviously, just kidding, but you know, it's funny to me. Alright, last heart. Oh, can't get out.
Wow, and what a turnaround from winners finals.
QP adapting for sure. Good job taking it. But a lot of the we see Biomatter, the Arc Dream, gone. But the Storm Dream lives on. I feel like Storm probably hasn't won a tournament in a while either.
Yeah, so Storm hasn't had a QP level main in ages. Since Kiroko.
GG's. That was a really good grand finals.
And
anything else need to occur?
I'm just typing out who qualified.
Oh yeah, when do the invites get announced?
That's a good question. Soon. Perpetually soon. But 6 more qualifiers from this tournament. I mean, unfortunately no Max.
Pro commentator Max missing out just barely, but 6 worthy players qualifying.
And I think like a big thing is, I think a lot of people would have predicted these 6 players qualifying, but I would not have predicted this order. Like, placement of the top 6.
Yeah, we're also seeing in comments QP winning the tournament with the intermediate tag on. Definitely needs to upgrade that.
Beginner tag, actually.
Oh wait, QP was on beginner tag?
Okay, QP a beginner tag enthusiast, I guess.
QP definitely need to be Really needs to upgrade to that expert tag.